I have my clams in the refrigerator here. If you buy clams, be sure to keep them really cold. So don't let them sit with ice without a plastic bag because it creates water and the clams will lose their flavors. As you can see, I have a little paper towel here. Put that on and then put your ice on. So that way you keep them nice and cold in the refrigerator, in the coldest place, which is generally on the bottom of the refrigerator. So don't freeze them, just refrigerate them. All right, so now I'm ready to open the clams. Why do people don't buy clams or mussels more often? Because they are all scared of opening them. And as you know, if you want to open the clams with a clam knife, it is always dangerous and difficult because I actually need my glasses for that. So you go like that and you can open them. You see that? And then clean them out really nicely here. That is a lot of work. So see that? Unless you want to eat them raw, like this, with a little lemon or a little cocktail sauce, which is good too. You have to smell them a little bit and let me taste them. They are nice and fresh. I can attest to that. Now I'm going to show you a much easier way, the way you can do it at home and open them in minutes. I have a pot here. I'm going to add a little touch of white wine or vermouth. If you have vermouth at home, add a little vermouth to it or a little white wine. Then I'm going to add a sprig of oregano, or if you want thyme or any other herb you like. Then I'm going to add just a little pinch of chili flakes. Be sure, if you buy clams or any other seafood, to go to a store where they sell a lot of seafood. It is really important that all the clams are really closed so that they are not open already. So be sure of that. And when you lift them up, that they are nice and heavy. If they are nice and heavy, you know the juice is inside and they are still alive. So now what we do is, I added the wine here, oregano, a little chili flakes, and I'm going to open them. The steam will open the clams really easy. So let's throw them in here. Okay, so I turn my stove on high here. So we'll cover them. And as soon as the clams open up, I stop the fire and I'm going to remove it. Now, a great thing is also you can save the clam juice for other things. You can use them if you make a fish sauce. You can use them if you make a pasta, for example. It's always good to have a lot of flavor, and clam juice has a lot of flavor. While our clams are opening, I'm going to prep all of our ingredients to do the stuffing. So I have red peppers here. Remove the veins here, the white stuff. All right, I'm going to mince the red peppers really finely. I actually can hear them opening up here. All right, you can see the clams start to open up. Look at that, see that? Another minute and it's done, see? They start to open up. So that way they are also nice and round here, see? That you don't mess them up. They stay actually much better that way. Just don't overcook them. Be sure when you see them opening up, you stop the fire. So in a few seconds, I'm done here. See, they all start to open. If there is any clams which are not open, discard them because they might not be fresh. Now, it looks like my clams are open. Can you see them here? Even if they don't open completely. So now, that's done. What am I going to do? I'm going to stop the fire. That's it. So now you opened 20 or 30 or 40 clams in no time. And it's not dangerous like with your oyster knife. All right, now I'm going to chop some shallots. And then comes the bacon. 2 slices of smoked bacon. And we're going to cut that also in very small strips. So now you can see our clams are cooling off. So I'm going to take them out. But first, I'm going to make our filling. First, I'm going to heat up the pan here with a little touch of olive oil or butter if you want to. So we're going to crisp up the bacon here because you want to have a lot of flavor. All right, see that? It's browning. We want really the fat to render and the rest of it to get nice and brown. So now, with a slanted spoon, I'm gonna remove the bacon. You can use the bacon fat now to saute your shallots. Once the shallots start to be really nice and glossy, we're gonna add our peppers. Instead of using white wine or vermouth to deglaze, I'm gonna use a little bit of my clam juice because I used already white wine and vermouth in here. All right, now I'm gonna cook that down. All right, you can see the liquid is really reduced here already. I'm gonna add the bacon to our mixture here. All right, I'm gonna add it in the bowl here. Now, we don't need salt because the clams are generally salty. All right, I have a little espalette pepper here. You can add a little cayenne pepper if you like to. 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. All right. About 1/4 of a cup of freshly grounded Parmesan cheese, or to your taste, you depends what you like. But that will bind the filling well together when it bakes. And fresh parsley, chives, maybe a little tarragon. Okay, mix all the ingredients really well together, and that's it. So now you have the stuffing for your clams. Now, I have your kosher salt. Put it on my sheet pan. Why do I put salt on here? Because I want the clams to sit up straight. Good. All right, so now I'm gonna remove the clams, take off the lid, and then make sure the clams doesn't stick to the shell so that way you can eat it easier. So you just have to use a little spoon and take them off. So now you could eat them. Just let them cool off so it's really easy to work with. Don't do them right away. In a few minutes they will cool off, and that's it. You can see they're still nice and plump and juicy, so you don't want to overcook them, just barely opening up. Okay, so now I'm gonna add here maybe a few tablespoons of olive oil and just a little salt and pepper. Not too much salt because your clams are generally a little salty. Be sure that it's all mixed together really well. Then, with the help of a little spoon, you just fill your clams. And then you put it on the salt here. The salt here is only to hold the clams, so it does not gonna change the flavor of the salt, because I know some of you out there might think, oh my God, there's so much salt. Just be careful that the salt does not go with your clam. So you can prepare that up to that point in advance. You can do it in the morning for dinner at night. Just keep them refrigerated. So, and then at the last moment you bake them. Now naturally, if they're really cold and coming out of the refrigerator, they will take a little bit longer to bake. Okay. I put it on the top rack of the oven. The oven is at 500 degrees. I would say about 5 minutes until the crust becomes really golden brown. All right, let me prepare a few lemon wedges. Okay, we're gonna cut them into 6. Now, when I worked in Austria or in France, we had to make everything look beautiful. So what did we do? We sliced that like that. Okay, then you make a little hole in here. All right, and then you stick that right in here. So, and then people say, how did they do that? It's so simple, look at that. All right, we never throw anything away. We save everything. Here I have my delicious clam juice. You see that? What am I gonna do? I don't gonna throw it away. I'm gonna put it in a little deli cup, strain it first, and now, if I wanna make a good pasta dish, if I wanna make a clam chowder, I have that already, so it will help you. Cover it, put it in the freezer, just write on it what it is, and that's it. So always save everything. We throw nothing away. Now let's look at our Clams Casino. Look how beautiful brown they are now. So that has been in the oven about 7 minutes, but it really depends your oven at home a little bit. So be sure to cook them enough so that way everything melts. I even could put it in 1 more minute. Okay, let's cook it 1 more minute. I like it really dark. You be sure at home, cook them enough. Don't serve it while it's undercooked, while it's still all blown, barely yellow. You want it to be nice and dark. I can smell them already. You can smell the richness of the bacon. So see how nice and brown they are? All right, so now I have a platter here. I generally serve them in the middle of the table so everybody can take as much as they want. Again, I put a little rock salt on here. Why? Because that way they stand still up here. But if not, you also can put it on without the salt. Arrange them nicely all around, so about 4 or 5 per person or more if you just serve them. Or if they're so delicious, everybody's gonna run after them. So just be careful, it's hot. So now if we wanna put the rest around here, so it's easy to eat them with a little fork or a little teaspoon. Get them out like that. It's so delicious. You get the saltiness of the clams and the crunchiness and smokiness of the bacon with a little spice behind it and fresh herbs. Really a delicious appetizer. Now I know why they were famous for so many years. So sometimes it's great to bring back old recipes. Now we serve a few lemons on the platter here so people can squeeze a little lemon on it. And if we want to, we can decorate it with a few leaves of parsley or any fresh herbs you like. All right, after all, we eat with our eyes first, so let's put a few little decoration on here. All right, and here we go. A beautiful plate of Clam Casino, and these 3 here are for me, because I did all the work so far, so I'm gonna eat them. Thank you. Now you learned how to open clams the easy way with a little heat and a little wine, but also how to bake them. And the most important thing is get really fresh clams and then don't cook them too much when you open the clams. Cook them just a little bit. When it's open, stop the fire and then let it sit on the side until they cool a little bit, and then you take them out. So really simple, really easy. Now, if you really like, you can put a little extra olive oil on top to make them shiny, just like that, or a little touch of melted butter. Okay, and this is it, our Clam Casino. And tell me, if you are making some baked clams out there or any other recipes, I want to know, especially for the people on the East Coast, how do you make your clams, how you bake your clams?